Thank you. So you probably pay attention that a lot of conflicts that we have today in Israel, they happen the same time, more or less, that close to Tisha B'Av, those days. It's not accidentally. I just want that you pay attention that everything that happened to us, it depends on our perception. It's not so important what happened. It's more important how you perceive what happened. And sometimes it can be great events, historical events. And if you are not, if you're not deep enough, if you don't understand really what happened, for you, those events, they'll be, okay, something banal, something regular. And can be opposite. If happens something absolutely mundane and something not so important at all, but if you are a good artist, you know how to recognize, or you are scientist, or you are good, you're deep enough, you recognize those that it's not mundane thing, it's something great and important thing. I'll give you example. You know, I think I probably already told you about that. I knew someone that he was in 1948 with his wife in kitchen, and they ate something in the kitchen, and somebody knocked on their window and say, listen, it was Ben Gurion says that they declare about state of Israel. We have now established a new state. We have our Israel, Jewish state. This guy say, so what? Jewish state. So big deal. Before they were the same, nothing will change, nothing will happen. Make me some salad, please. And I want that we'll try to analyze together, and we'll try to understand what happened to us today. So we know that something happens, some very important things. Since established this country in this state, it's never was so conflicts, so deep conflicts between parts of our nation. Such a lot of contradicts things and hatred, and a lot of terrible things happen.
Right,
Yes.
You really think there's more conflict now than there was, let's say, 50, 60 years ago?
I think now it's more because of a mountain of. I mean, how many people they involved in these conflicts? Before there, it was some like only in government and only in politics they did them. Today there are a lot of people. Today much stronger. So why? What happened to us? In order to understand that, I want to represent you idea of Rav Kook, that he says that there is something positive in hatred, in unjustified hatred between Jews. How it can be something positive? It's a terrible thing. Temple was destroyed because of that. Rav Kook says that there's something positive. What it can be positive there? He says that sometimes when somebody hates you, he gives you, this hatred gives you something that you wouldn't have without this hatred. For example, in time of Jewish people, we live in time of judges. It was Shoftim. We had a lot of enemies, but the stronger enemy, it was Plishtim. And Plishtim, Palestinians, they did to us a lot of terrible things. We couldn't do nothing to be free people, and they did to us more and more and more problems until that Jews decided to establish kingdom. And then I will have their king, Shaul, that he will collect all Israel together and he'll make from us a nation. Before we weren't nation, we were people. We were a group of people, but we weren't nation. We didn't have our state. And Shaul, he established Jewish state, first king of Jews. But why he did that? Because of Palestinian, Plishtim. It means that the fact that they did something bad to us, that caused us something good. And that kind of things happen in history a lot. And in our private life also. And also in Israel. Those kind of things happen to us. Baruch Hashem. And I think that that's what happened to us today. What happened to us? It's like this. Since 1948, our left's wing of politics, left brothers, they established this state. Without them, religious people weren't be able to erase this country, this state. And because they were left and because they were secular, non-religious, they succeeded to do something that is miracle. We cannot find another one example in all history that people could in 70 years from nothing to establish this kind of state, and not from nothing, not from zero, from minus. Because people that came here, they didn't talk in the same language, they had different cultures, they didn't have good professions. They were, all of them, a lot of them, they were from Holocaust, from Auschwitz. Who was this? Who were those people that they succeeded to make this kind of state that nothing equal in all history? You can find another one example that people came, did something, and this flourish such a strong. Nothing can happen like this. So who did that? The Smolanim, leftists, socialists, communists, all kinds of people. And we appreciate very much. And they developed this country, and of course, right wing, they also take part, they participate in that, and religious people participate in that, but they weren't conductors. They didn't rule this country. Who ruled, even that was a government, was right wing government, who rule this country, conduct this country. They were leftists. And that's what happened all our history until approximately 15, 20 years ago, until then. About 20 years ago, what happened that they changed their ideology. Not officially, not like didn't declare about that. In like in hidden way, like they changed their ideology. What they were ideology before 20 years ago, they wanted to establish Jewish democratical state. That in this Jewish democratical state they will live Jews, and Arabs, they will have another state, two-state solution, two-state to two people, Jews and the Palestinian. That was their ideology. About 15 years ago, they realized that it's impossible. Why? Because Arab, they didn't want it. Two-state solution. They didn't want. They wanted all Israel. When they understood that, they decided that since now they will work towards assimilation of Jewish state, that they will transform from Jewish state to Israel. What's the difference between Jewish state and Israel? In Israel, it's not have to be Jewish state. Israel can be just a country like Holland, like Belgium, all kind of countries. Like Canada. Canada, it's Canadian state. It's Canadian people live in Canada. No, there is no such a thing, Canadian nation. Yes, there are Canadian citizens. There is no Canadian nation. There is no Canadian culture, Canadian folklore, Canadian religion, Canadian language, nothing. Those components that they define nation: folklore, culture, language, religion, generally. There is no such a thing. No Canadian, not Australian, and not Singapore. And there are a lot of countries without, it's not national country. It's national state. It's state who lives there. And our left brothers, decided to make another Holocaust. This is Holocaust. They wanted to annul Jewish nation. Annihilate Jewish nation. Erase us with the same like Holocaust, like without gas chambers and without all kind of. It's white Holocaust. How it can be? Like Herzl, Theodor Herzl. He wanted to to solve Jewish problem. What does it mean? All history, it was Jewish problem. What Herzl wanted how he wanted to solve this Jewish problem, by make all Jews nation that will be Christians. That will be, and that's it. And that's what he tried to do. He wrote about that articles, and he convinced, and he wanted very much that all Jews will be Christians. And only when he came to trial in France as a journalist, yes, he came to this trial to describe what happened in the Dreyfus trial, he suddenly paid attention that Dreyfus, he wasn't Jewish. He was Jewish roots, but he wasn't Jewish religion. He wasn't nothing. He was just like French people, like average people. And only because he was Jewish, they did to him, they blame him that he is spy, that he is a traitor, all kind of things. Why? Because of his Jewish. So he understood that there is no chance to Jew to be like everybody, even if you not go about after your religion. No chance. So what was, that's why his plan of assimilation, he stopped his plan and he started to work for established Jewish state. The same thing happened to our leftist brothers. They wanted to solve Jewish problem. How they can solve it? They see that all people, all United Nation against of us, against of Jewish state. Why? What we do such a terrible thing that it's worse than North Korea, worse than Iran. What they do, it's worse than Russia in Ukraine. In United States there is a community like I don't remember how to say it in English. Something with Security Commission of United Nations. They have 190 and something resolution, but they decided to do something, and 130 and something from them it's against of Israel. Think about why. Won't we do something that worse than China, that they put people in jail, and in Africa they have slavery to slave. They have slaves today in Sudan and other kind of places.
Well, generally, the secular Jews blame religion for all the problems. They think that religion is causing all the problems of Israel.
Yes, but United Nations, they don't say that about religion. They say it about Jewish state, Israel, that they did something in Gaza and this and that and that. It's not religious people that they do that. It's secular people do that in Gaza. So why? And they came to conclusion that they will just transform this state from Jewish state to general state. It will be like Canada. Who lives here? Arabs, Druze, Cherkess, Jewish, Ukrainian, Russians, Sudan. Who will live here? From India, people from China. Who lives here? He's Israeli. And that is Holocaust. That's what they try to do. And of course, everything that connected to your personal life, nobody will interrupt. You can put your tefillin, you can eat your kashrut, you can get everything, do what you want. But it's not Jewish, it's Israeli. That's what they try to do here last 15 years. It means lefts that they established this state, now they different kind of left. It's not left. It's already something else. And that's how they work here until last elections. In last elections, it was about 6 months ago. In those elections, they suddenly pay attention two things. One, that majority of Jewish population, they became right wing. It's not just 64 votes. It's much more, because it's 64, not from 120. It's not half. It's about 70% of Jewish people. Jewish people in Israel, they are right wing. It's first thing what happened. Second thing what happened, I will add something more. Not just that they are 70% became right, but also those left that they were before, classical left that were in Israel, like a Meretz and Mifleget Avoda, like it's Ma'arach. They almost disappeared at all. Meretz didn't pass percent of did in Knesset, and the Ma'arach, that it was main party in Israel. They just have 4 votes, and that's it. So they saw it. And those, they are two, Lapid and Gantz, they say about themselves, we are in center, we are not left. That first thing happened, and for them it's tragedy. Second thing, what happened, that they pay attention that new leaders of right wing in a country, their leaders, they are religious leaders. What does mean that they are religious? It means that you cannot make compromise with them. Who is not religious, you can convince him, you can buy him. Like they buy vote of some of the Knesset member, and then they vote for giving part of Gaza to Arabs. They just gave car, Mitsubishi, to one of the Havrei Knesset, of Knesset number. We know his name, Alex Goldfarm, something like that. They gave him some job and a car, and he voted against of his what he was belong. He voted what government wanted to vote. They buy him. So everybody you can buy or convince. You can buy by money, or by that you will meet Biden. You deserve to meet a great old Trump. Oh, if you will invite it to White House, now, so give some part of your territories, make some compromission, make some just sign some document, but don't pay attention. But you will meet a president of your United States. Oh, he'll will take your hand. Oh, great thing. That thing disappeared. They understood that new leaders of religious party, they have their ideology. they won't be, it's not so easy to be convince them, to buy them, to pressure them, to threaten them. They have, and I can give you example. You can check that, what I said. About 2 years ago, they wanted to establish the right-wing government with Arabs. That's what Bibi wanted to do that. And Smotrich, he didn't give his agreement. He didn't agree to that. And they pressured him very, very strong. They said, you are crazy. Now you can be minister of defense. You can be minister of everything that you want. Anything that you want, they can give you. Just be agreed to be in the same government with Arabs, and you can have everything that you want. And not only that, if you won't do that, they will leftists. They will establish a left government, and Arabs will be there, and they will do a lot of destruction in this country because of you. And great rabbis, they try to influence on Smotrich, and he didn't agree, and that's what happened. Really, they established a left government with Naftali Bennett and Lapid, and he wasn't agree. Leftists understood that. They understood what happened now. They understood that now new leaders, they're not like previous leaders. That previous leaders, they were just regular, normal people that you can always pressure them. And those new leaders, they not just have their strong ideology, they're also very talented. They know how to talk. They have their ability to perform in television, in all kind of things. He's like and his intellectual level not less than their level. He talks today. There is a Simcha Rotman, Yeriv Levin, Orit Struk. They talk with all those journalists, and they talk in very, very, very deep, clever, and professionalist. So they understand that now this is the end. All country will be in different level. And I call that those new leaders that they came. This is Mashiach ben David. Mashiach ben David, it's not somebody that he comes from heaven or from cloud, and he come and he make all kinds of miracles here. Rambam says, and the Gemara says, Shmuel, Arav, Shmuel, all of them say, no, it will be absolutely regular people. Mashiach, it's not somebody that he is like some magician or some... no, it's a political leader. That's why he calls Melech HaMashiach. Melech, king. King, it means that he is political leader. He's also have to be spiritual person, but it's not his main job. All of us, from our great rabbis, they have their function. Aaron, he is Kohen. Moshe, he is Rabbeinu. And Mashiach, he is king. King, it means that he is political. He has country. and Mashiach, it's also a period. It's a way of function as a country. It's not some guy. It's like a kingdom. King. He's not some guy. Because there is very great king of Romania. You've heard about king of Romania? He lives in France. He lives normal country because he doesn't have his state. There is no king of Romania or king of Bulgaria. But there are people, there's some guy that he's a descendant of king of Mihai. Mihai, it was in Romania, Mihai. Okay, he was descended, so what? He lives in Paris in a normal apartment like me, more or less. He has 2 cars instead of one that I have. And that's it. King, it's nothing. In order to be king, you have to have kingdom. The same is Mashiach. He's nothing. You have to have kingdom. That means state. That is idea of Mashiach. And now we start new era of Jewish state, of Jewish nation, of Jewish history today, now, in those days. This new era, it's Mashiach ben David was born. What does it mean he was born? We have new leaders of Jewish state. They are not so well. Our leftist brothers much successful than them. They know how to rule, how to conduct this country. They know how to do everything. Wonderful. But they are born already. They appeared. They, or maybe they are children, but this power already exists now. And as I told you before, like in the beginning of our lesson, that it's everything depends not what happened, but how you perceive what happened. If you understand what happened. And I think that is what happened now. That's what we should be aware in which time we live. We live in great time. And you know, I teach here in Machon Meir already 25 years. I never say those kind of things like it said now, today in this lesson. I'm not, like see Mashiach in each time, like Chabad say, Rabbi Milubavitch, he is Mashiach, and Mashiach. I never say these kind of things. But I cannot be blind because Chabad think that Rabbi Lubavitch Mashiach. No, I see that what happened now today. The alternative for Jewish secular state disappeared little by little now, and for that they struggle. For that, their demonstration. It's not for reform. Some how is it? Judicial, yeah. Judicial reform, and not for that. They have their like a battle for their existence as an ideology, and they understand that they are going to disappear. And we have to be grateful for them and to love them. That they cause us to be strong and to understand, and they teach us how to how to conduct this country, and the fact that they're against of us, that makes us be together, and we don't hate them. We make something different in those times that the temple was destroyed. Then they hate each other, they fight with each other, they killed each other. Pay attention that right wing don't do anything to left wing now in those days. They wait in their cars when they block their roads, and they are here, there, something happened, but general, no. We don't fight with them. We don't kill them. Nothing. We wait. Even the day will succeed in this time, another year, another 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, but we know where it's go to. And that's how we fixed unjustified hatred. We don't hate them. We appreciate them. And we say them, thank you very much, but your time is over. And that's it. It starts new age, new time. That's what happened in our days. And we are witness of what happened. It's very special that we are able to understand that and to be part of that, to see that, everything. And we won't be like those who say, oh, Jewish state is start. You say, okay, so what? Give me a salad. No, we are aware, and thank you very much, and you should know, like Yaakov Avinu. You remember the story that Yaakov, he became when he came to receive blessing from Yitzchak, he wear dress of Esav. You remember? That's what happened today. Mashiach ben David learned how to dress of aircraft fighters. How say aircraft
Fighter pilots.
Fighter pilots.
Yeah,
Fighter pilots. Yes, fighter pilots. That's what happened to us. Fighter pilots, justice, academic and professors dress. That's what we will do today. And Baruch Hashem, it's written that Mashiach will be born in Tisha B'Av. That is what happened now today.